My brothers and sisters, this is a very dangerous time because if you have sharp nose like me, you notice that this is very close to lunchtime. My brothers and sisters, you know, last year is a very good year for us. If you look at the annual report, our annual report, it clearly states that donations receipts has gone up by 24%. This would not have happened if not for the excellent work by all of you. With that, on behalf of the citizens of Singapore, I thank you very much. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Really, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Since we have done so well, does it mean all of us should go back now? You agree with me that it's not. The facts that we have done very well, the question that we'll ask ourselves is, can we do better? However, you will know that we need to. Because when is the best time to do better? Is the best time to do better is when you are not doing well? Or the best time to do better is when you are better, so that you become better, betterer, betterers. Lim Swee say this, so I just quoted him. You check dictionary, no such words. But you know what I mean. The logic is very simple. When the going get good, you better rock the boat. Because when the going no good, you rock the boat will sink. There's a reason why we should rock the boat now when the going is good. So, rock the boat for what? Please don't rock the boat for rocking's sake. We are not in the business of rocking boat. We are business of rocking boat so that we can serve our people better. We must know where we want to go so that when we steer the boat don't go in circle, but the goal have a very sharp vision of where we want to go. So where we want to go? One way to know where we want to go is to look at the crystal ball. Look at the crystal ball. But the harder I look at the crystal ball, the harder the crystal ball look at me. No answers. My brother and sister, don't try to look at the crystal ball. You see nothing, you know. Maybe accept yourself. And then you start to admire yourself. That is very dangerous. So this morning, I deliberately came early. I went around to speak to some of y'all and ask y'all these topics. Future charities. Ask y'all, what is the future of charities? Y'all give me many, many answers. And then I also listened to minister. I listened to my chairman, Mr. Gerard E. And I realized that actually there's a common theme in all of us regarding to our future, regarding to the future of charities. And I'll summarize it in one word. The future of charity is about one community. One community. But what is one community? One community is about a shift. A shift that today the beneficiary rotate around us to the state whereby we in the charities as a group rotate around the beneficiaries. I repeat, the future of charities is not about you, about beneficiary going around you, but we serving together, serving the child, serving the beneficiaries. Why we need to do that? The answer is very obvious. Today, if you go and ask the donors, what do they expect? Today, you ask the volunteer, what do they expect? Today, you ask Singaporeans, what do they expect? Today, you ask the beneficiary, what do they expect? Expectation is no longer the same, you know. As the society evolves, the goalpost also level up. Today, they are not expecting output from you. So many of your annual reports still talk about output. Today, they don't even talk about outcome. Outcome alone is not enough. You know, today what they are thinking? They are talking about future impact. I.e., it's not only about what you do and achieve today, but what will you do, how will it affect tomorrow? Yes, that is the expectations. Second, today the problem we are facing are complex. It's no longer a problem that is cause and effect. But today, the cause and effect is no longer clear. In fact, today the problems are overlaps, such that one charity alone can never solve the problems. And today, we are talking about technology disruptions. You have read the paper that I conduct operation 2 days ago. Yes? Yes? No. If you know, I'm going to conduct more operation. Yes? Yeah, because I receive complaints that when you raise funds on the streets, sometimes we inconvenience the public. My brother and sister, before I continue my speech, I got one advertisement. Before you leave, there is a pledge that I want you to make. This pledge says that when you send your volunteer to go to street collection, you will exercise responsibility to make sure that they are properly briefed. You will do spot check to ensure that they indeed comply, they understand what they are doing, all the money collected are accountable for. At the end of the day, it doesn't erode trust. Can I have that commitment from you? Because at the end of the day, if this commitment is eroded, you know what will happen? Less people will give. And when less people will give, you will run to me and ask for more budget. Right? So my brothers and sisters, no one leave this room until I receive your form. I'm going to close all the doors except the last door. This is your pass to walk out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm quite sure you will do it without me saying so. But really, please sign. Back to street collections. If any of y'all still think that the future is to go down to the street and take the gong and ask people to donate money, you are in trouble. Because next time, people will not use currency. They will not use notes, you know. They will use this. Not that they don't want to donate. It's because you cannot receive. If you are not in QR code, you are in big trouble. So my brother and sister, technology have changed the way charity is going to run, how charity is going to operate. So the future of charities is one communities. How do we respond to this future of charities? There are 3 things we must change. First, we must change our mindset. Second, we must change the way we operate. Third, we must change the way we organize ourselves. First, the way we think. Must change. And to do that, we must really work on our people. There are three groups of people that we must pay attention. First is the board of directors. Can the board, if you are the board of director in this room today, can you put out the hand? I want to see how many board of directors are attending this talk. Good. We have a good, sizable, very good. My brother and sister as a board of directors. Your job is very important. You steer the ship of the charity. You provide the direction. You provide the oversight. But the future of charity means that you cannot only lead your own charity. You must now be also very concerned to the sectors that you are operating in. You could be operating in the child sectors, elderly sectors, needy sectors, and within the needy sectors, you could be operating sub into what I call special needs. Those who need financial assistance, there are many more. Your interest cannot be only your sector. For the very obvious reason, the future of charity operates as a sector, no longer as an individual charities. So my brother and sister, as what my chairman has alluded in his presentation, the shift must be one of leadership to stewardship. Your eyeball cannot be one of your own charity, but on the cluster or the sector of the charities. My brother and sister, from the management side, you run the day-to-day operation of the charity. Just now I say that you must run cheap, good, and fast. Cheap, good, and fast means that passion alone is not enough. I like the discussion just now. We will demand our fair share of talent. Yes. If the sector to grow in Singapore and to grow fast, I can tell you it's not the government sector. Not even the corporate sector, I may say. But it's the people sector. It's the people sector. We are in the sunrise industry. And to be in the sunrise industry, passion alone is not enough. If you are dealing with children, you must learn and understand the deep skill of child psychology. If you are dealing with elderly, you must understand what makes the elderly tick. Basically, about the psychic of our elderly. They all require deep skill. Passion alone is not enough. The volunteers' mindset also need to shift. Today, if volunteers and donors, they do not only give, they want to get involved. But in tomorrow, they not only want to involve, you know what they want to do? They want to grow with the beneficiary. Which means to say that when you communicate, it must, and when you tell your story, it's not only about what benefiting the beneficiary, but it must be what? In line with the purpose of the person, and not only in line, must showcase that indeed it grows with your donor and volunteers. That is the future of charities. At the process level, I've spoken to you, my brothers and sisters. We cannot sit down and be happy with our current state of productivity. I can share with you, our current state of productivity can be much better. Previously, I shared with you, for every dollar we receive, we only give 70 cents to the beneficiary. In the private sector, for every dollar they receive, they create $5. Do you know how they create $5? Because the $1 go into the value creation through social innovation. My brothers and sisters, cheap, good, and fast doesn't happen by chance. It requires social innovation. A good example of social innovation is our shared services. Why must you do it? Where you can outsource it. And Who built the outsource for you? We built the outsource for you, but make use of it so that you focus on what you do best. Yes, we need to do more of these social innovations. You need to ask yourself, in your organization, how can I better deliver values to my beneficiaries? You know, I'm very impressed with one of you, and that is the Singapore. They no longer call themselves the disability, but they call themselves. They just give themselves an abbreviations. And when I ask them, these charities, what is your mission? The reply to me is, my mission is not to help the charity or not to help the beneficiary, but my mission is to, what I call, maximize the potential of the person. Who say disabled person have no potential? When you start to move that, you are moving into a realms of what my chairman says, called self-reliance. It's not about helping. It's about empowering, enabling. It's not about receiving, but it's about dignity. That is value creation, my brothers and sisters. So we need to go through social innovation. Lastly, how we organize ourselves. Today, we practice silotism. Okay, that's another word that won't appear in the dictionary. Silotism means what? You as a charity, you operate yourself. But you cannot. If you operate yourself, I tell you what is the problem. If you operate yourself in dealing with complex problems, sometimes you are only dealing with the symptoms and not the root cause. When you deal with the symptom, not the root cause, your dealing itself may be the cause of a bigger problem. Do you know that? So, when we want to solve problem, solve the root cause. I give you an example. When our senior citizens check out from the hospital, they are frequent flyer. You know, frequent flyer, not aeroplane frequent flyer, hospital frequent flyer, you know. Many of our uncle, auntie are down with chronic disease. The moment they leave the hospitals, one charity must focus on what? Focus on keeping them to make sure that they continue medical treatment, medical escort, helping them to take the right medicine, to make sure that they do not fall at home so that the thing doesn't aggravate. Then it's hand over to another charity to make sure that they eat healthily, they exercise, active aging. Then it's hand on to another charity to make sure that they engage, both not physically but also mentally. Then to another charity. Some of them can do part-time jobs. Who say our uncle auntie cannot do part-time jobs? They can do better than us sometimes. So, if each of these charities are not collaborating, guess what? We are not solving the problem. We can only solve the root of the problem when the charity come together as an ecosystem. So the future of charity have to shift from silotism to ecosystems. My brothers and sisters, in conclusion, we have started the journey. I always believe that we in the charity cannot improve unless we can see. If you cannot see the future, can you improve now? You don't know where to improve. So the first thing is to open out your eye. Eye big, big. Only when I open out your eye big, big, then you can see the future. When you can see the future, you know what you need to change. How to change the mindset, how to change the process, how we organize ourselves. That's why I'm sending all you all back to school. Not primary school, university. Because charities is of that level. I'm very happy to share with you, the pioneer batch has graduated with the basic degree, basic certificate. Otherwise, where's my professor? The professor is there. Basic degree, basic certificate in high performance charity. I'm very happy that some of the certificate graduates are here today. They volunteered, they attended a 5 weeks lecture, taught by professors, and I was told that they passed with flying colors. Can I invite, I understand there are 3 or 4 of you all here. Can I invite the pioneer batch to stand up? This is a good way to take attendance. See whether you're still here. Yeah, they're here. See? Can we give them the round of applause? Because they have attended, thank you very much. Because they have attended the course, they are now in my inner circle. You know why? Because in fact, they have heard this speech before you hear it. So, I'm also very happy to note that 200 of y'all has kissed you to line up to attend the course. So I promise you, as long as Luke kiss you, as long as you put up your hand, we will send you back to school. Alright? As I always say, my brother and sister, I say it many, many times. In this journey to build a thriving and trusted charities, I will leave no one behind. And I promise you, we will walk the journey with you. Thank you, and you have a good day. Thank you.